And then she looked at me and she says, we don't serve people like you here. And I said, what? She goes, we don't serve people like you here.
So in your personal opinion, Yvette, like this woman that said this to you, in your opinion, why did she say that to you?
She said, we don't service your kind.
Well, what is your kind according to this person?
She thought I was white.
Where is your ancestors' descent from?
I was born in Matamoros.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you know like what your lineage is as far as like ancestry, origins?
Yes, I have a lot of Spanish blood and French, but both my parents are Mexicanos.
Well, what is that to be Mexicano? What is that?
Mi papá is de Parás, Nuevo León. He lived in a very, very poor place where, they were so poor that sometimes he had to wear girls' shoes instead of boys' shoes. He struggled. He didn't have an education. They lived in very poor houses. He didn't get past a 5th grade education.
So does poverty determine how Mexican you are?
No, I'm saying, and I go and I visit the houses there today. I go and I visit that town today at Halloween, and we give out candy to the poor children there.
You are Mexican because you were born there. No one could take that
Yes.
away from you. Absolutely. However, by lineage, let's say that you were completely European descent. Despite of where some of your grandparents were born, in this case, Mexico, European, Caucasian, although nationality Mexican.
And I hate the fact that I don't fit in. It bothers me. It bothers me.
I understand. What is your race?
Mexican.
Mexican is a nationality, not a race.
What do you mean by race?
Yeah, well, you see, when you say, when I ask you what your race is and you say Mexican, I guess my question now is, I was born in Mexico too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did a DNA test and I'm going to tell you exactly what the result was. And maybe you could understand by this answer, okay? The result of my DNA test was 82% Native American, 11% West African, and 7% Asian. So, although I'm born in Mexico and I'm Mexican, my ethnicity and race, there's no such thing as Mexican. It doesn't exist because Mexican is just a country. So when you say, but my race is Mexican or my people, sure, you're born there. But once again, I'm Mexican too because that's where I was born. That's the only thing that makes me Mexican. If I weren't born there, I'm no longer Mexican. How far have you been able to trace your lineage, Yvette?
Back to, what is it, King Charles V?
So to Europe?
Mm-hmm.
So you're acknowledging that you're a descendant of Europe.
King Charles V is in our family tree. Yes.
Ah. So you're white.
And his the wife of Henry VIII that he divorced because she was religious is in our family tree.
Okay. So when people ask you what your race is, it's safe to say that you're white. That happens to be born in Mexico. Yes?
But you just said the people that are born in that land, that's what they are.
No. Nationality wise, absolutely you're Mexican. Hood Mexican is Mexican. Jennifer is Mexican. I'm Mexican. We're all nationally Mexican. All of us here are Mexicans because we're born there. But where we descend from, you descend from Europe. So your race is white.
Yeah, all my relatives are in Europe.
Bingo. There you go. So now let's go back to your scenario. Let's go back to your scenario. So you go to this grocery store. She tells you we don't serve your kind. This person is discriminating you because you're white. She's not wrong in identifying you as what you had a problem being identified as, which is white.
And then I go to the white people and they don't identify me as white. They say I'm Mexican. So I'm nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a place where I belong.
I got you. And here comes the problem. White people are so racist that they can't accept you as their people, although you are. And what excludes you from claiming you, if you will, from accepting you, is the fact that you were born in a spick country and that you speak Spanish. That is what is causing your own people to reject and exclude you from the fact that you are in fact the same race as them. That's pretty messed up. So this person at the marketplace that discriminated against you, that's not cool. Not cool at all. Not cool at all. That person should be fired. However, the fact that she identified you as white and that's what hurt you, that is an internal issue of yours because you are offended that somebody identified you as what you actually are. And
Well,
you feel
but
hold
but
on,
I'm
real quick.
both because I was born in Mexico. So, you know,
Sure.
you can't just say I'm just white because I love Mexico. I was born in Mexico. Mi gente es de Monterrey, de Parás. Todo mi gente está en México.
Sure. There's plenty of European descendants in Mexico. In fact, when you turn on the television, the Mexican television, all you see is the white people that are European descendants, and they're proud to be Mexican. Look at Canelo Alvarez, an Irish guy, the proudest Mexican you probably ever find. Your people are white people. The problem here is the fact that white people are just so racist that they don't see you as them. And that is the reason why we have people like you who are European descendant, just like the gringos here. But because they reject you, you have instead joined us, if you will.
I'm confused because first you say you are the land you were born in, that's who you are. Now you're saying now you're saying something different.
Because I am giving you the fact that you are Mexican. Because that's where you were born. And I think that's what you're confusing because I think you're still under the impression that Mexican is a race. Because when I asked you originally, I said,
okay, you're saying I am Mexican, but then you just said I'm white. So
okay, and this is where
Me estás confundiendo, qué fregado.
No. This is where you're confused. Check this out.
I'm gonna simple down what he's trying to tell you. I'm gonna simple down lo que te quiere dar a entender.
Listen real quick,
un ejemplo, Canelo. Canelo es de nacionalidad mexicana, pero sus raíces son irlandesas.
Okay.
Su sangre viene de
pero
Irlanda.
sigo siendo mexicana.
No,
¿correcto?
pero lo que te está dando a entender que tu raza es muy diferente de tu nacionalidad. Un ejemplo, Canelo, su nacionalidad es mexicana.
Okay, soy mexicana, pero sigo siendo mexicana.
Tu nacionalidad es mexicana, pero tu sangre viene de España, europea.
Pero mis raíces son de España.
De España, es lo que te está dando a entender.
Sí, so tu raza es blanca, pero tu nacionalidad es mexicana.
Yeah.
Okay? Tu nacionalidad doesn't determine your race. Where you're born doesn't determine your lineage. You acknowledge that you descend from King Charles or whoever the hell,
Te voy a decir algo, there's this historian in Mexico, and she says what you just proved right now, that she says that the people that have white lineage or European lineage, they're able to trace their family, their bloodline, back to the motherland in Spain. So you just proved her theory by you tracing your own white lineage to back to the motherland, to your
Yeah.
motherland, say.
They can trace it all the way back.
Does that make sense now when I say that, yes, you're Mexican, but your race is white? Now do you get it?
Yeah, when she said your raíces,
Okay.
but you're still that.
Okay.
That.
All right. So now,
Got it.
perfect. Now you get it. Now let's jump to the scenario where this Mexican woman, this brown woman said, we don't serve your kind here. And I said, what does she mean by that? And you said, she thinks I'm white. Is she wrong? You are in fact white. Yes or no?
Okay, I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at, the blood and people have told me te ves más española.
Cuando alguien está seguro o segura de lo que son, las opiniones de otra gente no importan. So if somebody identified you as white and it triggered you, there's an internal issue, internal conflict in you that perhaps you're like, she's right. But I don't want to
the
be.
problem was that the feeling of not belonging in either one.
I got you. But the truth is that where you really belong racially is with the white folks. It's just that you know that they don't accept you.
Well, some of them do until I
Open your mouth.
mention, well, if I speak English, I'm fine.
Ah,
A lot of them think I'm from the South, from Texas or Carolina. But if I speak Spanish or mention Mexico,
that's it. You prove my point. That's exactly the point that I was trying to bring across. I told you that you are the same race as white people, but then when they realize that you are from a different country and that you speak a different language, you said it yourself, te cortan a la chingada. ¿Sí o no?
yeah, but too bad.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away the fact that you are in fact white. A white woman that was born in Mexico. There's plenty of you in Mexico.
Yeah.
Or Cuba.
Or Cuba.